So, I've got some bad news for you guys. I'm not really as enamored with Minecraft speedrunning as I used to be. I still love it, it's very special to me, but over the past couple of years, my mind has started to wander over to other speed games. I've gotten a sub 110 in Mario Odyssey, dabbled in some atrocious Breath of the Wild shenanigans, and I've achieved probably one of the goofiest Mario World records there is. Super Mario Galaxy 1's All Domes category extension. Now, the reason I find this speedrun so silly is because there are a lot of stupid or bizarre speedrun categories across the Mario series, like nipple percent, all trees, etc. And while yes, these are stupid concepts, especially stuff like all trees, they still involve playing through levels and can contain a lot of fun movement and strategy, especially with something like nipple percent. But you want to know what the all domes speedrun is? You run around the Comet Observatory and just enter all the domes as fast as you can. It is so mundane, so boring, so absolutely pointless that it makes me crack up. A few months back, after encountering this category, I decided to try it out for the memes. And then I reset to try again. And again. And again and again until eventually I took a second and realized, holy shit, I'm addicted to this category. This category is interesting because it somehow manages to pack a lot of interesting movement into a 1 minute and 20-second span, such as this long jump ground pound, which is a frame perfect maneuver. One huge disadvantage I have in this category is that I don't have two sets of Joy-Cons. It's a common practice in Mario Galaxy to stick two Joy-Cons together so you can do mid-air jumps and the like, but I'm not about to spend $80 to go slightly faster in a Mario speedrun. So runners that can play two-player mode are able to save time with 2P jumps. At first, this was discouraging to me until I realized how funny it would be if I got the world record and beat people using two-player mode. After grinding this for a couple weeks back in January, I did eventually get the record, but it wasn't by much and I expected it to be broken somewhat soon, which it was in about a month, and then was brought down below the 122 barrier about 3 weeks ago. Now this is definitely difficult to beat, but I know it's possible, so let's go beat it. While the other me is busy beating this record, I'm going to explain the few confusing parts of this run real quick. Most of this run is pretty easy to understand up until here where everything gets wacky. Well, I guess as wacky as it can get for a speedrun such as this. When we leave the bedroom, we need to quickly get on top and grab this red star, which seems simple enough, but is one of the most infuriating parts of the run. This stupid dome's collision awakens a whole new shade of darkness in my soul. The area of the wall in which you can wall jump is stupidly small, and even if you do find yourself on the right part of the wall, half the time it just won't let you wall jump. Also, when you are on the wrong part of the wall, it doesn't just let you fall until you get to the right part. No. It does whatever this garbage is just to troll you. In the event that I do manage to scale the Wall of Rage, I immediately have to do a glitch to get to the next dome. See, when you fly with the red star, it's not quite light speed. However, if you rapidly tap A in a rhythm, you can fly much faster, albeit while giving Mario a seizure in the process. Now, the fast flying isn't really what's hardest about this, it's flying directly into the dome. I've started to get the hang of this as I've run the category more, but it's still a pretty challenging maneuver, especially since I'm coming at it from underneath. Besides seeing your brother burn to a crisp, there is nothing as heart-wrenching as a great run being stopped right at the door to the garden because your hitbox brushed against the side of the door. The last truly agonizing part of this run comes right as I leave the garden, where I have to perform a ground pound during a long jump to most efficiently reach the engine room. Now, the ground pound is one thing, because although it's frame perfect and difficult, the timing isn't too hard to get down. The hard part is landing on this obnoxiously thin walkway instead of the slope surrounding it, as that essentially kills your run. This one little walkway has increased my disdain for the Comet Observatory so much as I've run this category, and has convinced me even more that Starship Mario from Mario Galaxy 2 is a vastly better hub world than the Comet Observatory, and I will die on this hill. I'm just now realizing that I have been leaning quite negative in this video so far, which is probably making you wonder why I run this category. The simplest answer I can come up with is that it's a short run with fun movement. That's pretty much it. This category scratches the itch I have when speedrunning just right, similarly to how SSG does in Minecraft. I don't have to get too locked in when playing it, because by the time I get nervous, it's already over. Alright, I've yapped for long enough, and it looks like future me is about to get the world record over on twitch.tv/StixDesu, so I'll end the video with that. Let me know if you enjoyed this. It was a pretty fun video to make. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one!
Woohoo!